The district let me know of the plan to renovate and expand Aronimink. I want to say, I don't know the exact date, but it was within my first 2 years of being at Aronimink. I want to say probably about 2018 that planning process began.
We came from a lot of brainstorming, writing on big chart paper in an office, and then trusting other people that you work with who've been here for a long time that might have better ideas than you. We had a couple iterations. Do we use the kindergarten center? Do we try to build on Carnington? We did 30 to 40 different variations of variables to consider how would we meet the needs of our EL population, our special education population, our general education students. Joe McGilvery really was the one who said, hey, what if we swing Senko students over to Aronimink? We can expand Aronimink. It's one of the few places that has the space for us to be able to do it.
And it just absolutely made the most sense to bring, our Upper Darby students, back into the community and to build a larger, stronger school community.
I thought, hey, it's great. I mean, if we could get a bigger facility, it's a no-brainer. You're able to do so much more in with more room, more space.
We hit the ground running through a lot of meetings over the years.
It took over 28 meetings when really a school district only has to have one meeting. We had so many meetings. And we did that because we had rumors that there was going to be 25 buses or 15 buses, and the trees, like the playgrounds, the open spaces, making sure we're preserving a lot of the open space, what are referred to now as the dinosaur rocks, and we've kept those rocks.
There was a vested interest in the entire, school community, district community on wanting to know, what the plans were, how it was going to happen, what the timelines were going to be.
Aronimink, they sent out a video on how the new part of the building would look like in an animation, and I saw the gym. And there were chairs, and I saw the 4 basketball hoops, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
The timing of this big renovation and expansion obviously was stalled because of a worldwide pandemic.
One of the most memorable moments during that, you talk about COVID, Frank Salerna and I were in person in my office, and I remember we had to be 6 feet apart. We were on a virtual township approval process, and the meeting went until after 1 in the morning, just to make sure we got approval from the township to build and do what we were doing. And I remember it's this feeling of exhaustion that I guess any good thing that you're going to do, there has to be some struggle for you to feel that success. Breaking ground during that period of time, all the construction.
Watching the excitement of all of the central administrators, the support of all of the principals, elementary principals throughout the district, home and school. This was a step in the right direction to build a lot of excitement for what's to come.
The initial thought was, yes, this is great. It's going to, we're going to be an improvement.
There was a lot of areas to improve across the board.
It was kind of cramped.
From the bathrooms needed to be updated.
The gym itself, it was very tiny.
You shot a basketball and hit the ceiling.
So we needed, the newer look, the 2024 look. But then in the back of my mind, selfishly, it was, wow, this is going to be a lot.
It was neat to see the initial guys come in and just the removal of tot lot playground equipment, just seeing the big machines come in and take that and dispose that.
The gym was demolished.
They were gutting all of admin.
We were connected to the Upper Darby Administration building, which houses all of the, the directors, the supervisors, the superintendent.
It was awkward because inside of Aronimink Elementary School were also the central office. So you would walk into central office and have something going on, but you had first grade classrooms right next to you.
We were in administration. So we saw, a lot of the administrators or a lot of the meetings that were happening.
Getting central office out of there to free up classroom spaces, to make the school function as a school was a long overdue process that we were able to pull off. So we really renovated the space to add classrooms and make it better.
It would not only open up a whole big space for us, but also kind of gave us our area back.
The construction process, like anyone who's gone through a renovation at home, it's super inconvenient. It's it's dusty, it's loud, and here at Aronimink we experienced all of those things.
Between the noise, the dust, they tried to put up barriers, which we appreciate, but the dust got into our classrooms.
Our teachers were vested in this whole process. We had many meetings, faculty meetings, behind the scenes meetings, updates.
The material delays that we went through as a result of COVID, electrical switchgear issues, just months of delays.
I think I probably used the words being flexible and accommodating thousands of times over those years to where they were probably sick of hearing that.
We had to think on our feet a whole lot just about everything. There was always an obstacle.
I remember having many iterations of meetings of, okay, this like part A, part B, part C, we were obviously naming the parts of the building. How are we going to fit it? When are we going to fit them in?
They had to do section by section, obviously, because we had kids in the school all day long.
We weren't able to use certain stairways because they're doing construction, so we had to go this way instead of that way.
One day this entrance won't be available. Next day this hallway will be closed. Hey, we're going to be jackhammering from this hour to this hour.
So we went from like 300 kids to 600 kids, and the whole middle of the school was closed off.
I remember that first day when those kids got to walk back in, even though there was still some construction, because we went there when that merger the first day that it happened. People were excited. Kids were excited. Staff were excited.
The excitement is not only with the adults, but with the kids. The kids think things are an overnight process. And so it was also educating the kids that, like, hey, we need your help in designing these 21st century learning spaces.
We included kids in to be able to pick out like colors and pick out what the building would look like and understand the layouts of the school.
And kind of getting their input on what they thought an ideal classroom would look like. And that was, it was super cool, super exciting. Every kid wanted to share, you know, their unique perspective on what they wanted the new Aronimink to look like. We look towards our younger student council kids that would be here for the change, to have a voice.
It was fun. We got to wear like these plastic construction hats. We were going through the hallways, and I remember there's a lot more of space. There was a lot of new bathrooms. We saw there were no toilets, no stalls. As we walked into the gym, I remember looking up at the sky. Everyone's like, wow, what is this? And everyone's like, this is the gym, it's the new gym.
Signing the beam was another moment, a pivotal moment that those kids were a part of, letting them know that the construction of the school, down to the very material and that beam that's going up into the new gym area, you are the group of kids that were a part of this and had to suffer through some of the construction, but it's a memory that we did it for kids. We did it for a community and for children.
With the renovation and expansion, there have been some major changes. Our Aronimink front entrance has changed from the playground side of the building to the Bond Avenue side of the building. We now have a full office suite. We're not working out of closets anymore, right? We're working out of state-of-the-art offices.
I love the bus loop. I think it's really special. It separates that part of the building that was never really used as much. I love that entryway where it has the old Aronimink Elementary School. I just think that's a beautiful part of that building.
This school got a lot bigger.
The kids aren't on top of each other as much as they were. They're spread out more, so there's not as many, kids bumping into kids.
The library is much bigger now.
The library is beautiful. I'm so thankful that I get to teach in a space that it's so big, it's so open, the natural light is incredible. The kids love coming in there. And when they're happy, I'm happy. It's also great to have such a big open gym.
The reaction when the kids came in, they were like, whoa, look at this huge space. The windows are enormous, so it's very cool, especially this time of the year.
The classrooms are also nice and new.
Some of the classroom spaces that overlook the bus loop, where the old building connects to the new building, I'm jealous. I would love to teach in a building that keeps that has that overlook out there. It just feels like this is what school should be like. It's bright, it's fresh, it's new.
Our school has changed so much, and I'm so grateful for everything that happened. None of this would happen if our teachers didn't work hard enough. Mr. Rehack, if he wasn't here, then I don't know what would happen.
It's been a frustrating and extremely rewarding process. At times you're going through it and you think, whew, I can't believe this is happening. And now being able to step back and see what this has become, it has been a wonderful experience.
Go Aronimink.